In this video, I'm going to attempt to survive 100 days in Minecraft Bedrock edition. Now, this is my first time doing this, so I do apologize for the bad voiceovers. Anyways, these are all the goals for this 100 days. That is all for the intro, and let's get started. Okay, so this is the 5th attempt I'm making because all the previous seeds have been terrible. So on day 0, instead of gathering wood, I decided to do a little bit of exploring, which was when I came across this nether portal. Luckily for me, the chest had decent loot and even 4 obsidian, which I thought was enough to complete the portal. With that in mind, I decided to speedrun. After a while, I realized I needed 1 more obsidian to complete the portal, so I had to go look for some iron in a cave so I can make a bucket. And by the end of the day, I was able to complete the portal. As soon as I spawned into the nether, I immediately rushed to get golden boots, not realizing I already had gold leggings. After that, I collected some blocks and mushrooms before realizing I had spawned in a cave. I ended up breaking all my pickaxes, so I had to go back to the overworld to get more wood. After a while, I was able to grab all the wood I needed to return to the nether. I made the pickaxes and started to mine around randomly, which was when I came across something unexpected. I had mined directly into the fortress. I then proceeded to gather blaze rods and almost died a couple times. I ran out of food, so I went back to my portal to find some more brown mushrooms, but I couldn't find any, so I decided to go look in the fortress instead. And that was when this happened. Even after dying, I wasn't going to give up. So I went back to the nether. Thankfully, I had left some copper in the furnace, which I used to make some armor. After a while, I was able to safely make it back to my loot. I still went on my way to try to grab the brown mushroom that led to my death, but ultimately a ghast ended up destroying it. I managed to get all the blaze rods I needed, so I decided to go back to the overworld, where I gathered food and wood while waiting for night time so I can hunt down endermen. And out of the 3 endermen I killed, only 1 managed to drop a pearl. After a while, I crafted the Eye of Ender, and it was time to hunt for the stronghold. I came across this snow patch which I mined so I can use the snowballs to take out the end crystals. The ender eye ended up breaking, so I kept going towards the last direction until I came across this village in a spruce biome. Obviously, the villagers were kind enough to let me borrow most of their resources. I even found a blacksmith that had very good loot. After that, I mined directly under the village where I came across the stronghold. I found a pearl in the first chest I looted. Searching for the portal room was a huge pain. I even ended up dying to zombies. But thankfully, I had set my spawn in the village. I was able to make it back to my loot safely without dying again. After a while, I was able to find the secret passage that led me to the portal room. I needed ender pearls, so I decided to build a nether portal in the stronghold. I ended up messing my lava placement, so I had to go back to the surface to get water. After a little more preparation, I was able to go to the nether. Thankfully, I spawned not too far from the fortress. Anyways, it was time to go look for a warped biome so I could get some ender pearls. On my way, I decided to collect some gold so I can trade with pigmen for fire resistant potions. After that, I kept on exploring. Ultimately, I couldn't find the biome I was looking for. So I decided to go back to the overworld to trade with villagers for pearls instead. Before leaving, I decided to loot the stronghold. And that was when I got ganged up by an enderman, a zombie, a skeleton, and some silverfish. Thankfully, I had set my spawn at the stronghold room, so I went back and claimed my loot. Back at the village, it was time to start preparing for the trade. I started by tearing down this villager's house because his rent was long overdue. A lot of wood mining later, I decided to start the trade. I also came across another blacksmith which had very good loot. The villager started raising his trade prices, so I decided to give him a hot tub experience. Not to worry, cause shortly after I got another villager. While trading, I realized that the villagers didn't even have a brewing stand, so I had to go back to the nether to go and get another blaze rod. I ended up dying on my way to the stronghold. To make things worse, my spawn wasn't even set at the village, so I had to retrace my steps. The next day, I was able to make it back to my loot safely. While trying to get the blaze rod, I ended up almost dying to this skeleton and a blaze. After collecting the blaze rod, I was on my way back home when this happened. Yes, I ended up dying in the nether, but thankfully this time I had set my spawn at the village. So I quickly grabbed my second set of ammo and went back to recover the blaze rods when I died again. And again. After a while though, I was able to successfully recover my loot and the blaze rod. Anyways, after that, I crafted the brewing stand and went back to the village to continue my trade. Time to take a hot bath. Time to go mine more trees. After a while, I was finally able to get all the pearls I needed for the end portal. Before going to the end, I made sure to store some of my stuff in a chest because I know I was definitely going to die. For some reasons, I actually thought I could one cycle the dragon with some few beds. The bed bomb barely did any damage, so I went to destroy the crystals instead. But while doing so, I ended up getting killed by the dragon. I need you guys to understand that doing this on a phone is way harder than you think. I wanted some pearls but ended up getting killed by the enderman instead. So back at the overworld, I decided to gather blocks instead. I finally managed to kill the dragon on day 13. Obviously, I didn't forget to collect the dragon egg. I also didn't want to go back home immediately because I wanted to collect some loot from the stronghold. As soon as I spawned into the end city, I decided to increase my render distance to the max, and that was when I immediately spotted an end city. Being the pro that I am, I decided to god bridge over the void. The loot I found in this end city was nothing short of terrible. After running for just a little while, I came across two different entities, which both had end ships. It's finally time to get the first elytra in this world. This is the first good chest I'm coming across. At this point, I was almost full diamond. All I needed was leggings. Nobody told me it would be this fun to fight Endermen in third person mode. I have an ender pearl, but bridging over the void is more fun. I was going to tower up, but this guy decided to give me a ride. For some reasons, almost all the chests I found in these NCTs were all filled with trash. While collecting the dragon head, I spotted another NCT which didn't have a ship. Leggings. Finally, I have a full set of diamond armor. I could not find more end ships, so I decided to leave the end city. I grabbed the rest of my loot and it was time to go home. Now I needed a place to settle down, so I went to the island which had the portal. This island will end up being my home. I changed my graphic settings back to normal and the clouds started to look weird. I actually like this weather. I think it's nice and peaceful. Anyways, I went back to the island and planted some sugarcane and cleared out some space and stored my stuff in a double chest. Day 19. This is one of the most OP shovels I've ever used in Minecraft. Having this many grass blocks feels illegal. On day 20, I made a level 30 enchantment table. I didn't have any lapis, so I had to go to the cave to look for some. On day 22, I finally had enough lapis to do some enchanting. After maxing my ammo, I went back to the cave to collect more lapis. I needed diamonds, so I decided to strip mine, and that was when bam, diamonds, diamonds again, more diamonds, and even more diamonds. After that, I went back home, and this is the amount of loot I got from the cave. I did some enchanting until I got a fortune 3 pickaxe so I can mine the ores. But I didn't have enough levels, so I had to go to the nether to mine quartz for XP. My arm pickaxe had mending, but I didn't notice. Also, in case you don't know, mining gold with silk touch pickaxe and smelting it gives you more gold than mining it with fortune pickaxe. On day 28, I returned home and got fortune 3 on my pickaxe. Out of 23 diamond ores, can you guess how many diamonds I'm going to get? If you guessed 50, you're wrong. I got 56. 57. My pickaxe was almost broken, but I wasn't paying attention, so I used all my ores to tower up to the build limit. And while mining down, my pickaxe broke. Gosh, I'm so stupid. I had to mine everything with my silk touch pickaxe. A creeper blew up my chest, so I had to hurry up and fix everything. Thankfully, I didn't lose any of my items. I tried to get another fortune pickaxe, but I couldn't. So I spent 4 days clearing out an area for a house. I am terrible at building, so please bear with me. I wanted a house facing in all directions. This is the design I ended up going with a door in every direction. I'm also adding a second floor. As for the interior, I don't want anything too complicated. Adding a roof was the most difficult thing ever, and it's one of the main reasons I suck at building houses. On day 38, I replaced the walls with stone bricks. It's day 34 and everything is starting to look how I imagined. On day 47, I was really starting to get the hang of building. I added some leaves and even these parts, which I really like. On day 48, I added some more exteriors like barrels and signs around the house. It's day 39 and I'm happy with how the roof turned out. Anyways, it's now time to talk about the interior. But before that, can we do a little bit of glazing at my masterpiece? For the first floor, I didn't do anything crazy, just added some crafting tables, a hole in the middle, and some lanterns. Then for the upstairs, I added this double bed design with some lanterns as well. On day 51, I was finally done moving everything into the house. The next thing I'll do is to make a small carrot farm outside my house. Day 52, I remembered I had loads of unsmelted ores, so I watched a tutorial on how to make a super smelter. On day 53, I was finally done with the super smelter and it was time to smelt my ores. On the morning of day 54, I realized I didn't have any coal to smelt my ores, so I went to the forest to gather some leaf litter. I also ended up coming across this pink sheep, but didn't have enough storage space to record at the time, so on day 56, I made a sheep pen. The sky is starting to look weird again. On day 57, I began to gather blocks for my next big project. Can somebody let me know if there's an easier way to make a bubble elevator? The only fun part about this is being able to jump from this height and not taking too much damage. On day 61, I had to return home to smelt more stuff for the build, so I checked up on my carrot farm and did some other chores. It's day 68 and I'm finally done with the elevator. Now it's time to start the hard part, which is actually building this thing. Oh, and by the way, in case you are wondering why I don't get advancement in this world, that's because most of the time I don't play with Wi-Fi, and I've gotten most of the achievements on other worlds. But of course, there's still a lot of achievements I haven't gotten, so I'll be playing with Wi-Fi from now on. Anyways, on day 75, I was finally done with the farm, and this is the slowest XP farm I've ever built. Not worth it at all. The next goal I had on my list was to go get ancient debris, but I had to fix my pickaxes and other stuff first. On day 79, I collected some carrots from my farm and made loads of golden carrots. This was when I realized I needed a smithing template from a bastion to make netherite. On day 80, I came across this bastion but couldn't tell from this distance if it was a looted bastion. While trying to get closer to the bastion, I ended up coming across another bastion. So I decided to go to this one instead. And I'm glad I did, because this one ended up being the one I was looking for. This will be my first ever time raiding a bastion in survival Minecraft, so I'll have to be extremely careful. Without a doubt, the most terrifying encounter I've had in this series. I don't want to get shot by piglins with crossbows, so I had to make this path just to be safer. Even after everything, I was still terrified of opening the chest, but when I did, I got what I was looking for. After collecting everything I wanted, I was able to leave successfully. I made it back to my portal on day 83 and stored everything I had in a chest. The next thing to do now is to duplicate the smithing template with all the diamonds I had. After that, I'll go to the nether and go get more ancient debris. but before that I sheared the sheep and did some chores. After some preparations on day 84, I was finally ready to go back to the nether. Can somebody tell me what this is, because I've never seen this before? A cave that leads directly to bedrock. How? On day 90, I finally got enough ancient debris. I turned on my Wi-Fi before crafting the armor so I can get the achievements, because this isn't something I'd want to miss. At first, nothing happened, but I ended up getting it later. I ran out of diamonds, so I had to go back to the cave to go get more. I wanted to make an enchanting house, but I was running out of time. I also really needed level 30 for the Fortune 3 enchantment, but my EXP farm was trash, so I decided to head into the nether and mine quartz instead. After just a little while of mining, I got all the XP I needed. I now had enough diamonds to duplicate the smithing template. I made a mistake and put netherite on my other pickaxe instead of my axe, so I had to go mine more diamonds. On the night of day 95, I decided to kill some mobs for some more EXP. Day 96, I mined the rest of my ores with my new fortune pickaxe. For some reason, my chest plate and leggings started to glitch. I think it's because of the smithing template. Day 97, I tamed a horse and rode it around my house. Day 99, I made more rockets and flew around with my elytra. It's officially day 100. I've survived 100 days on Minecraft Pocket Edition.